Introverts can get women too. My name's Jat T. Jones, and I used to be a shy kid who was stuck in a prison of fear. I loved girls more than anything in the world, but at the same time, I was terrified of girls more than anything in the world. So this inner conflict tore me up inside. Every time I tried to talk to a pretty girl, I would literally freeze. I'd be like, right? And then I'd feel so ashamed and so like, what's wrong with me, right? And I just wrote myself off. I'm like, oh, I'm quiet, I'm introverted, I'm shy, I'm insecure, I'm hopeless. Girls are never going to like me. I'm not good enough. So I had this torment in my soul and my masculine spirit because I wanted nothing more than to be one with these beautiful creatures. So if you feel like you're stuck in a prison of fear right now, where there's nothing you love more than these beauties, but at the same time there's nothing that you're more afraid of than women, then you're not alone. You're completely normal, and a lot of guys, including myself, have been through the same thing. My message to you today is this: do not write yourself off just because you're shy or you're quiet or you're a little bit awkward around women. My story, when I was growing up, I was one of the most insecure and unworthy kids you've ever, I felt so unworthy that if you talked to me, I'd try to disappear. Like I was so awkward, I would make you awkward. I would make you feel bad for me because I didn't even feel worthy of taking up the space that I was taking up. So if you're battling with worthiness issues, if you're having trouble believing in yourself, or if you're thinking, you know what, I'm a hopeless case because I'm an introvert, I'm quiet, I want to let you know, man, being an introvert, being quiet, and being shy does not keep you from living a life full of beautiful women. So when I was being tormented by being in this prison of fear and insecurity, it hurt me so much that I got to the point where I basically said to myself, either I have to kill myself because this is so painful, or I have to go and get this thing handled. Those were my two options because I was living in constant torment. There is nothing I wanted or cared about more than being one with women, with these beauties, right? I didn't want to live in regret. I didn't want to grow up, on my rocking chair, regretting that I wasted my life and my youth. I never wanted to be the guy looking back and be like, I should have gone for it more. I should have just, put my neck out there and so forth. So the torment and the hopelessness actually is what I used as fuel. So I was like an alchemist. I turned lead into gold. I turned pain, anguish, suffering, fear, and desperation into fuel to push me forward to get this part of my life handled. So I went into the world of women. I faced my fears of being too quiet, too shy, unworthy, all of this stuff. I went through a lot of embarrassment. I went through a lot of trial and error. I got some wins, I got some losses, but ultimately I made some discoveries. The discovery I made was that there is no correlation between whether a guy is an introvert or an extrovert and how much women he gets. I've seen extroverts who always get stuck in the friend zone and never get women. I've seen introverts who always get stuck in the friend zone and never get women. I've seen introverts, I said introverts, right? I've seen extroverts who get a lot of women, and I've seen introverts get a lot of women. So there's no correlation between how extroverted or introverted you are and how much women you get. What matters is the way you communicate and show up to the game and to women that determines whether you get women or not. So in my story, when I showed up, despite my shyness, despite my quietness, despite being an extreme introvert, I started getting success with women. The realization I started having when I started showing up and going after what I wanted was, oh, even though I'm quiet, girls like me and accept me and find me lovable. Oh, even though I'm a bit shy and awkward, girls still like me and date me and find me lovable. Oh, even though I'm an introvert, or like a big introvert, girls are still attracted to me, think I'm enough, and like me. So, I pass these realizations on to you in case you are thinking of writing yourself off, or in case you're looking at your introversion or your quietness or your shyness or your awkwardness or your insecurity as a handicap. It's not a handicap if you make a definite decision that I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this handled, no matter what it costs me. Then you can win. When a man places everything, including his spirit, behind what he wants, he will get what he wants. When my life shifted, my love life shifted, when I got to the point of pain and desperation and anger and anguish, that I looked myself in the mirror and I said, never again. I'm going to do whatever it takes and pay whatever price life asks in return to get this woman thing handled. So help me God. I will not give up. I will die before I give up figuring this thing out. And so I kept at it month after month, year after year, until I started being able to consistently and predictably date the kinds of women that I was truly attracted to. So if it was possible for me, going from the lowest of the lows to the highest of the highs, then it's possible for you too. You can overcome your unworthiness. You can overcome your insecurity. You can develop your social skills. You can overcome that fear to go walk across the room and talk to that beautiful, gorgeous angel. I've developed a predictable blueprint that works. You can go click this link right here to learn more about it. But this stuff is possible once you show up. There's a great saying, 90% of success is just showing up. I think a lot of guys are staying in their rooms because they're not even showing up because they think it's hopeless. It's not hopeless, bro. If I showed up over and over, made mistakes, and learned from my mistakes, and developed a system that predictably works, you can too. So, here's another angle. Stop hiding behind any excuses you're making as to why you're staying single and why you're not succeeding with women. If you put your mind to this, you set your mind to this, and you're willing to pay the price in money, time, and effort, you will get this part of your life handled. I'll leave you with this quote. While one man hesitates because he feels inferior, the other man is busy making mistakes and becoming superior. One more time. While one man hesitates because he feels inferior, the other man is busy making mistakes and becoming superior. I was the guy making mistakes. You know why I have more women than you, and better women than you, and hotter women than you? Because I was the guy who was busy making mistakes, while the other guys were holding on to their ego and their pride, and it's like, oh no, I want to look cool. I don't want to look and make a fool out of myself. Okay. And those guys stay single, stay in scarcity. When you go out there, lean into the mistakes. You learn most from your mistakes. Now, if you don't want to make as many mistakes as I made, then you click the link here or here, and there's a blueprint, but you got to show up. If you're not going to show up, stick your neck out and take some risks, this game is never going to be yours. There's another saying I made up, which is, to be a seducer is to be a risk taker. To be a seducer is to be a risk taker. If you're not willing to take a risk, you can never be a seducer. You can never play this game. This game is one giant risk. You're never 100% sure if a girl likes you. You're never 100% sure if she's going to reject you in front of everyone. You're never 100% sure of anything. You got to put your neck out there and go after what you want. So, being an introvert, being quiet, all of that stuff, don't write yourself off. I was there. I overcame it. I also discovered that women loved me despite being a quiet, shy, introverted guy. So women will love you too. Get up, get out of your house, go after what you want.